Get some coffee here. It's actually late at night. You drink your coffee. Okay, well, we're doing it already. All right. So, what's the title of the live tonight? Is Let Woman Worry. Right. Okay. Let me get closer. What exactly do I mean by that? See, since I don't know, like 5, 6, I was in kindergarten, I always been intrigued by woman's nature, by woman's response to chaos, to order, basically everything that you can come up about a woman, from her beauty, her ugliness, her skin, her tone of voice, everything that you can imagine, right? So I've been collecting all this data since I was small, I was little, you know. Of course, it was suppressed. It was I couldn't share it, right? Because I was raised up in a very strict environment with my parents, right? They didn't believe in analyzing people too much because you will come out like you're judging, right? All right. And sometimes you may, if you don't know how to keep that boundary, without making your own observation and having your own opinion about something, about someone, especially a woman. But at the end of the day, not judging their female nature, right? So I'm gonna be talking about why let women worry. Man, so many stories that I have. So many stories that I have before getting incarcerated, during incarceration, after incarceration, you name it, everywhere from bars to clubs to barbecue gatherings, everywhere, right? Church, anything, right? What's up? You know? And no, no, I'm not. I'm not a soldier. I'm just, I'm proud that I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and probably it's not the perfect country these days, but you know, we still have to paddle, right? Keep going. Hi, what's up? It was 9/11. Someone was pulling a fire alarm. What's up? Okay, guys. So I was talking about the title of the live is Let Woman Worry. Okay. And it sounds kind of like it's broad, right? It's an ocean. It's very deep. mm, Very expands, right? Everywhere. So as I said, I've been collecting this data as I've been growing up, and I was being curious about being the man. We were taught you're the provider. You do everything basically, right? Anything dangerous, and the woman does the least of it because that's what I grew up with, right? But then I had a kind of like a piece of shit of a grandfather, and he was the one who introduced me a little bit about what I've been seeing, right? He basically had a ranch, right? He passed away a few years ago. He had a ranch, a farm, and he said, grandson, never hesitate to put your wife, okay, to work in your farm, in your ranch. Never hesitate. And she will still have time to go home and clean the house and cook and take care of the kids. He said, you will never understand the energy that women are born with. I didn't get it. Of course, I didn't get it. It took me years, pain, you know, headaches, just like everybody else, you know. relationships that fail, right? And I learned this the hard way. And I agree with my grandfather, and not only with him, other people. So when I was incarcerated, I met a few people who were millionaires, right? Even though they got it money, dirty money, right? Jewish people, Muslims, you name it, whatever, cartels people, whatever, right? And this, there was no, not even one guy, one person who said that one of his wives was still loyal to them, regardless if people were facing 1 to 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. They all were gone. And I was very curious. I was very curious. I was like, do you know why she did it? Like, she was not in love with you? Like, I don't know, Alex. I literally gave her everything. Well, I never let her do anything. Automatically, when I will hear that with everybody, it will remind me of my grandfather, what he said. No matter how beautiful your wife is, she needs to be working, right? Even if you don't have a ranch, do something. So something, she needs to be doing something for you. Okay. Regardless if she has kids or not, she has time for that. Okay. And the moment, grandson, the moment you think and you feel compassion, okay, you feel something in your heart that she's doing too much, this is when she's going to turn around and look for somebody else and do the same. And I'm going to touch a topic about the sophisticated pimping these days, OnlyFans, right? He actually died like a month ago, cancer. He was Jew, right? He was a Jew. Hey, what's up? Very nice. Just so he was a Jew, right? And I mentioned it in another video about sometimes the information, the answer that we need at the moment comes from people that we fucking hate, right? Just like right now, everybody despises Jewish people. Everybody hates Jewish people. Okay. They just hate it. They can't stand it. We hear in the news, we hear it at work. Everybody's just complaining that why United States of America is helping Israel, right? To achieve their own agenda or whatever it is, right? But I've noticed something, like I said it before. You cannot hate something so much because that hate comes from something that it bothers you that they know something and they're using against you, right? I'm not trying to confuse nobody. So where am I going with this? Where I'm going is very easy, right? We're talking about women. Let women worry, not you. Okay. Sometimes, guys, we need to fake that we're broke. And this is especially for people who are married, right? You have to fake that you went bankruptcy. Okay. You have to tease the bear. You have to pull the tiger's tail. All right. I post this on Reddit, and there was this person that had feedbacks about saying that you should write a book, saying how to be a manipulated asshole, right? Piece of shit. But they were taking it out of context, right? This is not manipulating nobody. Okay. This is manipulating nobody. But at the end of the day, just as any relationship, anything hits a plateau. Just when you're working out, you're doing chest, deadlifts, whatever, squats, there's always a plateau that you hit. And you have to come back, have some introspection and say, okay, what is it? Am I going weak? Or I'm not just targeting the muscles that I'm supposed to be targeting? I'm not eating right. So you start doing your math, right? And this is the same with a woman. Same thing with women, right? You get married. If people who are married, you provide everything, houses, vehicles, and everything. Everything's great, right? And then for some reason, crisis comes. You're not earning enough money, you're losing money, and then you start to worry. You shouldn't be ashamed for that, right? You shouldn't feel guilt. You should apply this principle. Let her worry too. All right. And you would say that's a coward. That's being not being a man. No, that's not being a man. That's recognizing her nature. Right. And if she's going to be there because you paid the bills, guys, she's no better than a fucking OnlyFans girl. Period. Mhm. She's not better than that. Mhm. She's not better than that. Mhm. I've seen people, men, okay, they don't talk to me, but I can see in their body language, their conversations, because everything they talk is about family. My family doesn't appreciate me. My family doesn't appreciate me. There has to come a time that you have to do something. All right. You have to fake like you lost something. Deliberately fucking sell a vehicle. Right. Don't pay a whole month of mortgage. Let's see what she does. Okay. Mm? It's because you need to know and understand that women feed off of drama. If she has no drama, if she has nothing to worry, she's not being feminine. And I know. People say this is not right. It is right. It is right. It works. I've seen it with my own family, people who are not my family. Mm. This is why you see a lot of women leave their husbands who have provided everything with somebody who doesn't have anything. Okay. You might say, well, those are trashy wives or trashy women. They all are in their nature. Okay. Men need to stop worrying about bills and they need to allow women to pay bills too. Period. This is the only way we're going to start switching the tables. When men stop thinking that they're the providers, you still can provide, but you still can provide, okay, bills for her. Mhm. Mhm. The elite know why, and everything that is happening is why it is confused. Well, everything starts with the Jewish people. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. And people who haven't read the Torah, the Bible, they're not going to know this, okay? I read the Bible a few times with a translation of the Quran and another few holy books. But what one of my best books that really describes the nature of woman is really the Old Testament in the Bible. And this is why there's no accident that OnlyFans was owned or is still owned, even if he died, by a Jewish guy, okay, who reside in Chicago. What a coincidence, huh? Most pimps come from Chicago too. Mm. So this is a sophisticated way of pimping girls and not going to prison, right? This is what I said. I cannot hate Israel people. I cannot hate Jewish people, right? They run the courts, they run the media. Do I agree what they do? Of course not. I don't agree that they own the porn industry, making millions, but hating on them, it only makes them bigger. Hating on some type of race, it only makes them bigger. This is I learned this the hard way. Mm. And I'm never going back. I feel very proud. Mhm. I was reading the Torah, like, whoa, there's a lot of things that women do. No wonder why this fucker made OnlyFans, right? These people know the nature of woman and they use it to their advantage. Mm. They know it. They don't judge them. They don't feel disgusting. And they still marry a woman who's a virgin, mm, and have more because they're interested in running the world, ruling the world. Mm. And this is why I disagree with all these new tactics about how to date, right? That is telling man that you have to go to the gym, then go back home, grind on your project, and ignore woman, thinking that this is going to be a win-win on the long run, right? Honestly, makes men weak. You can become a millionaire, a billionaire, right? You can make fun of me, motherfucker. You're poor. Yeah. Okay. Good luck who you're gonna marry. Okay. Mm. You might be in the newspaper. Mm. You got robbed, right? By a 304. took all your money. You might not care, or you might fake it that you don't care, right? Avoiding women, guys, it's avoiding life. I will never disagree when guys said, you guys don't worry about women right now if you're 20. Worry about women when you're in your 30s. What are you gonna do in that gap? What are you gonna do in that 10-year gap? Ain't no way you're gonna get better at women when you have never interact with a woman. It doesn't work like that, pal. It doesn't. Mm, mm. It doesn't. Mm. It doesn't. You can disagree with the Jewish people, what they do, okay? How filthy, hypocritical they are. But you cannot deny that they know what they do, right? More than that, they're professionals. Huh? They have creeped into this country 50 years ago, mm, 60. Mhm. A few controlling masses that tells you everything, right? Tells you everything. Mm. Like I said, do I like Jews now? I don't. But I cannot hate something that possesses knowledge. That'd be absurd. I'll be a total fucking idiot. Mm. If I will hate something or someone that provides knowledge, regardless of your opinion, but that's evil knowledge. That's from Satan. That's regardless. Mm. Regardless, knowledge is neutral. Mm. Just like fire. Mm. You don't know how to deal with fire, you're going to get burned. You're not skilled how to use a knife, you're going to get cut. You don't know how to swim, you're going to drown. Can't blame the water, right? It's the same. Hmm. It's very curious, and I'm very fascinated with these people. Mhm. I don't support them, but I study them. It's been a while. And for those people who say that Jewish people have privileges, I did time with them. A lot of them are lawyers, and a lot of them are inside for sex offenders. I don't know if you guys know that. Mm. Especially if they're in Florida. There's a lot of people in Florida, Illinois. It's a lot of Jewish people everywhere, right? A lot of Jewish people doing time. Hmm. So people who think they have a privilege, not all of them. Not all of them. Mm. But yeah, going back to women, they know what's up. Mm. They know what's up. Mm. I met a few, not too many, only fangirls in some dating apps, and it's interesting. It's interesting to caught my attention though. They run their mouth, blah 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 blah. I'm just like, man, she's gonna stop talking. Is she really gonna stop talking? But then a light bulb went on, and I said, you know what? I can take this to my advantage, right? See, a OnlyFans woman is making so much money, right? Bending over, showing whatever she needs to show, making tons of money. Cool. But you need to understand that they think that they're using men. This is how stupid female nature can be. They think that because all creeps, professional people are donated millions and thousands of dollars to her, they think they're using men. But because they don't know the nature of things, male energy cannot be used. Female energy absorbs everything, right? And the male energy gives. You cannot use male energy. You can't. You are the one being used as a woman, right? These people know that. These people know that. And it's so crazy because it was a pattern. And you can see it in YouTube and any social media when people have podcasts and they invite only fangirls. You can see their body language, their face. They just want to talk. They want to talk, right? But every time they get interrupted and they're being shamed for it. Mm? And this can be a trick, right? This can be a trick. Just like in war and in love, everything's valid. Mm? It is so true. Okay. You will always succeed with women if you decide not to fall in love. Even if you do, try to snap out of it. Okay. With women, it's not about falling in love, it's about knowing their nature. Okay. This is why to this day we have sophisticated pimps not going to prison, right? And using women and making money. Can't change that, guys. Never. Embrace it. Mm? Embrace it. Mm? They might think that they have the upper hand because they're making money. No. As a man, the card that we hold is patience and non-judgmental. We disagree when a woman has high body counts, but if you just want to sleep with her, you don't want to wife her up, that's irrelevant. Mm? I tried it years ago when I used to be judgmental with whores, sluts. I would not get I would not get pussy as much as I do later on in life because I don't judge them. Mm? And even if there comes that little feeling about, man, this fucking slut, cut it off. She's not wife material, you know it. Have fun. And this is why I disagree with these so called men advising young men not to get involved with women. You just creating weak motherfuckers, bro. You just creating weak men. Mm? I have children. I have boys. One is going to be 18 next year. Mm? Every time I see them, I don't see them often because sometimes they're with their moms. But when I see them, every time I see them, I say, "What's up? How many women you have under your belt?" Under your belt, mm? Always. Not to push them to do things, but to know that it's okay that you want your career. It's okay that you're hitting the gym. It's okay you're making money. It's absolutely fantastic. But if you're avoiding women because you think you're creating a better man, a stronger man, you are setting yourself to a big pothole, bro. Mm? It is the truth. It is the truth. I've learned through the years that women are easy. Mm? But what's the catch? What is the catch? Not to get angry at them. Don't shame them. They're so stupid. I'm sorry, woman, if you guys listening to me, just don't get personal. They're stupid. Mm? If a woman tells you, I slept with 1,000 men, right? You know what you should be your answer, Damn. All right. You have experience, girl. Something simple. Mm? You'll be how surprised. You'll be so surprised. But you're gonna say, well, I feel disgusting sleeping with her. Nah, no. You need to know that's female nature. Now, if you're trying to marry her now you're fucked up then. Like I said it before. You will never find a wife if you've never had sex before. If you have never been with women, you can never succeed as a husband. Never. Ever. It doesn't work that way. Only as a female, she can come to marriage virgin, and that's okay. That's good for her. Mm? But you, as a man, to come virgin to a woman that's not virgin, that's absolutely insane, bro. That's mind blowing. That's totally garbage. Mm? God bless USA, of course. Mm? Mm? That's absolutely garbage. Mm? And I noticed that pattern. I noticed that pattern. Yeah, I was in OnlyFans, blah, 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 blah. They just want to talk. They want to talk because they don't have the chance to talk, right? When men start noticing this, you can take advantage of that. Mm? I'm not saying if you're lazy, right? You still have a job. You don't have to wife her up, but you need experience in life, right? Sometimes experience in life comes engaging with three or fours, sluts, whores, whatever you want to call it, right? Without getting attached to it. Listen to their stories, right? Don't feel disgusting. This is the catch. This is the catch that it took me years to analyze, right? Mhm. The best thing that a man can do is not fall in love. But that sounds easy more than said, right? I mean, it sounds, yeah, whatever, backwards, right? Mm. It is man who's looking for a wife. You cannot look for a wife if you don't have plenty of women under your belt, period. It's setting you for failure for life. You have no knowledge, okay? You're going to have kids. You don't know what to say, how to behave. You know nothing, okay? Any man who wants to get married and wants to find a wife needs to know female nature. And how you're going to know female nature? Reading about it, staying at home, hitting the gym, going to work, making millions, and then seeing a woman on the screen? No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't. Mm-mm. You have to deal with women physically, right? If it costs you money, so what? Mhm. Experience is currency. I said it in other videos before. Experience, I'm going to say it again. Experience is currency. You don't see it right now, okay? You don't see it right now. It's a currency, it's an investment, all right? It's assets, raw assets that are in the freezer in the future for you. Mhm. 10, 20, 30 years, whenever a woman comes into your life, you know that body language. You know that twig on her eyes. You know how she's breathing. Mm? You know what she's saying is BS, right? But if you have an encounter with woman, what are you going to know about it? Nothing. Nothing. Mm? Just as is important to know how to make money, 50%. The other 50% is to know female nature. Okay. I want to make so much money, then I can pick a wife. Mhm. Go for it. You're going to cry, not me, you. Mhm. Men have underestimated women so long for so much, including myself. This is why I decided to talk about women. I was talking about other things, and I said that from now on, I'm going to talk about this so-called dating life game, mm, not how to get women, how to know the female nature about it. I'm going to repeat it again. How do you get to know women? Don't judge them. Don't judge them. They're filthy, whatever there is. Don't judge them. Let them talk to you. Let them talk to you. But people don't want that. Men don't want that. They don't want that. I can't deal with drama. No, guess what? Life is drama, right? And life includes women. And one, and the minute that you want to isolate yourself from women, this is the time you start losing. Mhm. This is the time you start losing. I don't want to deal with women anymore. I want a robot. Fuck out of here with that shit. That's not gonna happen. People think, oh, it's coming in the future. Yeah, you might have some weirdos, right? But at the end of the day, the government, the at least the people who govern this will not allow it. That's not nature. Okay, that's not nature. Mhm. It's not. It's gonna happen just like anything else, right? There's always gonna be a fraction of people who choose that, and the other fraction don't choose that. Mhm. Let a woman worry about it. Mhm. You don't have to worry about everything, mhm, but you have to have strong self-esteem. because they're gonna call you lazy. They're gonna call you, this is not that example of a man that I have taught you, right? Because we've been taught that you're the provider, right? Mhm. I've heard men. I heard a manager. I'm not gonna say his name. Is he was my manager. I was cleaning up right my area, and he was trying to help me. And he said something about his tendons. And he's like, "Man, they're hurting. I need to go to a doctor." And I go, "Okay, bro, no, that's cool." Like, yeah, and I still have to go home and help my wife. Help your wife with what? I asked. I know sometimes it's heavy. I don't let my woman do certain things if they're too heavy. I don't even allow my woman to mop. This is when I knew I had to change jobs, right? Because if I'm gonna have a manager who's a punk, he's not gonna see, okay? He's not gonna recognize my work. You know, that was kind of like I worked for another 2 weeks and I left. When I heard that, for me it was disgusting. You're telling me that you work as a manager, you're busting your ass, you still go home and help your wife mop, pour the water out because it's too heavy? Mm-mm. No, no. For me, that was the most rawest, punkest thing that I ever heard and saw. Yeah. I just respected that man so much. I gave him that look like, man, you deserve everything. All the bad stuff on top of your head from being stupid, right? You have all this knowledge how to manage this store, this corporation, but you don't have the knowledge, right, to study female nature. Mm? At the end of the day, it all falls to woman, guys. Mm? At the end of the day, you cannot avoid woman. All this philosophy, ideas that fuck women, they're whores, they're sluts. I'm gonna go in my bed with a doll, huh? In my hand, this might be my girlfriend. It's gonna make you weaker, weaker, and weaker and weaker. Mhm. I believe that's the reason why we have a lot of transgenders people. Mhm. I believe that a lot of people going gay not because they like it, it's because they've been hurt by women and they say, well, you know what? Let me try men now. Mhm. And for me, that's weakness. You're avoiding life. Mhm. You avoid woman, you avoid life. Mhm. You don't understand the nature of woman, then you don't even understand yourself. Mhm. That's what's up. Mhm. I don't regret any word that I've said. Mhm. This is for the few. I always said it. I'm not worrying about the masses. I'm worried about the few in the right places will make a difference than the masses who are sleepers, zombies. Mhm. Let your woman worry. And I know if somebody who's married is looking at this, they know I'm 85% right. Mhm. Stop doing everything for her. Okay. It's gonna shock your kids, it's gonna shock your neighbors, right? But it's for your own benefit, your own mental health, mhm, and physical health. Mhm. Women are capable to take a lot of tasks. And anytime a man jumps to help her all the time, he becomes a woman now. And that's why women don't get along with other women because this modern man act like women. And that's why they despise them. Mm, mm. Bitch doesn't like a lot another bitch. They don't. Most of the part they don't. Mother don't like daughters. They don't. Sometimes they're banging the same dude. Mm. I know it sounds gross, mm, but it's the truth. Mhm. So every time a man behaves like a woman, this is why she's being mean to you, disrespectful. Mhm. And you have to go against what your daddy told you, what your family and the church is telling you. You cannot have no morals or ethics with women because they don't understand that. Mm. They don't even know how to pick a dress. They don't. Mm. I don't know when was the last time you took a woman or your wife or your girlfriend to dinner and she doesn't even know what to order. She needs more time. Mm. Then when she orders, she doesn't even remember what she ordered. Sometimes they don't even remember their name. That's the whole point, bro. And I'm not belittling women. I'm not degrading women. I'm just talking by experience, right? Experience is currency. Okay. If you don't want to invest money, not invest, but spend money in a woman because you think, okay, she didn't give me sex. Okay, cool. It has happened to me. You invite a woman, okay, nothing fancy. Boom, boom. Okay, she didn't sleep with you. That was the last time. But at least you need to have a conversation and you have to learn how they think. You have to be familiar how they think, their tone of voice. And any young man who has not who has avoiding this because he doesn't want to spend money, he's gonna spend all that money in the future anyways. Okay, because he's gonna be ignorant. He's gonna be a fool because he doesn't know how to discern woman. He doesn't. Mhm. Let me tell you guys. See, when men go through a breakup, right? Their sweetheart left them, their heart is shattered into pieces, fade into the thin air. Okay. Then these men who have been hurt become players. Okay. And then they say, you know what? Never again. I'm going to be hurt. But this is the downfall. This is the thing that goes wrong in the long run. That they now start hurting other women because they got hurt. Okay. So that eventually leads to a little vicious cycle, a rat race that will make you feel empty, frustrated, and angry. Yeah, I've been there. So then what's the catch, Alex? From a victim to a player, from a victim to a player, you become the game. Okay? Because you've been in both sides now. You've been the victim. They crush you, they run you over, right? They left you homeless, right? Divorced, whatever. Okay? Then you got your shit together again and you become a player. But then eventually that starts eating you up, right? There's something that it says it's not, you don't have peace of mind. That's what I'm saying. You're still getting laid, you're still getting pussy left and right, but you don't have that peace of mind. And that's what counts in the long run. This is what I learned with age. This is what counts. Like, man, I'm getting so much pussy left and right. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing? What is this taking me? Okay. Then you start like, you know what? Yeah, because I'm playing with them. I'm the player now. I'm hurting them because, okay, they hurt me. So now I'm going to hurt them first. Mhm. And this is men who haven't healed yet to a point that they can have peace of mind and a healthy approach. So when you become the game, now you understand that if you get hurt, now again, it was your choice. You play that card because it happened before. You got crushed because you were young, dumb, long ears, donkey, Kong, whatever, right? Then you became a player and you said, it worked. But then in the long run, it was kind of like draining. Mhm. So then you become the game. You know both parts. So now you still have women, and even if they don't give you their vagina right away, they don't get laid with you, you don't take it personal. You don't take it like, oh, I did something wrong. No, you understand the game. You understand the nature of the energies going on. Okay. Not because a woman didn't sleep with you right away doesn't mean you did something wrong. You might, all right? Mhm. I had both. I had a woman who sleep the first night with me, and I have a woman they sleep the third date, right? And sometimes I don't sleep with them. That's life, right? You can't sleep with all the women in the world. What the fuck is that, right? But I'm telling you guys the the process. Okay, from a victim you become a player. Then from a player you become the game. You understand the damn game now. You understand the game. So now you can't get hurt no more. If they leave you, good. If they stick with you, good. Mhm. That's how it is. Very different. Victim, player, then you become the game. And when you become the game, you can change the rules. You can bend them at will. When you say a no, it's a no. But when you were a victim, a no, it was the end of the world, wasn't it? Mhm. When you were a player, a yes, a no, it was no. I'm not accepting a no, right? It has to be a yes. And then you were persistent, persistent, persistent. And then you had your yes. Hmm. But it was time consuming. Yeah. She opened your legs for you, but it was time consuming. And then you say, you know what? I'm growing older. There's more things that I want to do. I want to share my experiences with other people. And this is when you start becoming the game, right? You see the rules, they have been set. And because now you gain experience, currency, assets that will cover your ass in the long run, you can change the fucking rules now. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Mhm. I'm going to wrap it up with this, guys. Don't avoid women, okay? That doesn't mean you're going to be chasing them. You're going to be 24/7 with them. It doesn't. Remember, sometimes the answer or information that you want comes from people that you don't like. That's a fact. Okay? Stop hating and stop paying attention. Start paying attention. Okay? Hating something or someone, it's a clue that they know something that you don't know. Right? And if I'm saying it, it is real. Because I was a fucking proud motherfucker. Like, fuck this. No. If you hate something so much that you can't sleep, is because that thing or that person or that woman or that man has something that you need to know. But because you're focusing on him, you're not extracting that information from them. And this is what's going to stop you and stagnate you in life. Don't avoid women, embrace them. Virgins, not virgins, sluts, no sluts, rich, poor, ugly, beautiful, it don't matter. Female nature wins when you get to know how to handle it. Use it, don't abuse it. Use woman to your advantage. Don't abuse it because it becomes draining, but use it. People are using it every time. See you guys.